Alright, so I'm at Daikoku. It is very late, so there isn't much going on. At least I think that's how it works. A couple guys were here at the left. Got videos of that, them taking off, waving goodbye and everything. Nice folks, which, you know, everybody kind of knows that. I hear something up there. So anyway, now I want to talk about Skyline GT-Rs. So this is what I'm driving here, this R33 V-Spec. It is almost Shiro. It's pretty beat up. I'm pretty sure all their cars that are not like brand new are pretty beat up. And I actually saw some cars that were pretty new sitting like in their yard, just like rotting away. Like a previous gen WRX. It's like a 15 through 22, which definitely, or 21, shouldn't be broken, but you know, boxer things. So anyway, now these Skylines, you know, of course, we never got those in the States. We never got these in the States. And, you know, the prices, when they were first legal, so R32s were the first ones that, you know, of the popular ones that became legal, and that was in 2015, 2014. So, you know, in 2015, I had, you know, the chance to get something because I was actually, you know, I wanted the Evo 10, which that's what I ended up getting for reasons. And those reasons are that the R32 GT-Rs, those were about 15 grand at the time. Those were 15 grand. And in my opinion, because like many years before this, you know, I'm looking at import sites and those cars don't cost anywhere near that kind of money. So to me, it seemed like it's not a good deal. Like, why would I buy that car if it's such a horrible deal compared to what it used to be? Right? So, you know, I mean, an Evo 10 back in 2015, you can't make it over there, Stancy guy. But anyway, an Evo 10 in 2015, any Evo 10 costs way more than, you know, 15 grand. So needless to say, since I bought an Evo 10, I paid more than a Skyline GT-R would have costed. Now, of course, Evo, even the 10, the most hated Evo, still keeps its value pretty well. So, you know, I literally can't lose money if I sold it today. I bought it in 2015. I can sell it today for more than I paid for it. Now, in total, I won't get all my money back because, you know, we're talking 3 engines, turbo kits, blah, 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 all this other stuff. But if I just look at the price that was paid for it, I'll make more than that if I sell it. So not horrible. Not as good as an R32 would have been. So anyway, you know, the thing about those cars are they're even more expensive now. These right here, this thing, beat the shit like it is, probably will go for 50 grand if somebody was selling it in the States. The way it sits, maybe a little less if somebody actually drove it, but you know, I don't think people care. They're just like, I got a Skyline GT-R. I kind of don't care. But see, here's the thing. When you just look at the facts and you see what's out there that you can buy for less than what these go for now, that's any GT-R, 33, 34, and 32. you know, so much better stuff. I mean, technically the cars I have are better than Skyline GT-Rs. But see, after driving this, I realized that you're not, like when you pay all that money for one of these, you are not actually paying for the car. You're paying for a lot more than the car. You know, you're paying for the fact that, you know, it was forbidden fruit. That, you know, that's anything that's JDM, that's the case. Now, for some reason, Euros don't matter as much. I'm like, if I could find like a right-hand drive Ferrari 360 Modena with a clicky-clack manual for a good price, I mean, I'd say fuck everything else, basically. That's me personally. And even importing a JDM car from like Europe, people don't even seem to think about doing that. They want them straight from Japan, where of course that's the worst idea. But anyway, with these, you're not paying for the car because, you know, here's the thing, it looks amazing. We've been seeing, you know, these cars. I mean, the first R33 that I saw, I sat in it, I started it up in like 2005, and this was way before it was legal. You know, the shop had one, and you know, these have been around in the States randomly for a very long time, and so it's not like it's new to see it or anything like that. But see, here's the thing, you know, it looks good. It obviously looks good, and that's one of the reasons why people love these things. I mean, you take this as it is, lower it, put some TEs on it, CEs, works, something like that. And I mean, what more would you need to do? Nothing. That's a mark of a good car. So anyway, it does have that going for it. But when you just look at it as a car, like numbers, it's gonna get destroyed by a lot of stuff. Like Camrys, a Camry will probably walk this thing, maybe. Under like certain circumstances, like perfect launch, just because this is that all-wheel drive, rear bias though, you know, it'll probably get some stuff off the line, I'd imagine, but overall, power isn't something that, you know, stock for stock, you're not gonna be really bragging about that. But like I said, there's other factors about this or any of these JDM cars that kind of does it. Like, it's an experience. So, you know, I was driving this in Akihabara, and you know, people wanted to take pictures. They asked me, is it okay to do so? And you know, they're like walking around the car, and even random places in Japan, people just looking and stuff. It's like this is their car, you know what I mean? So, and to have reaction from even Japanese people with these reactions and whatnot. I mean, some of them have to be like, oh man, I can't believe that guy has this car, is driving that car, or whatever, you know, whatever they think it's mine, probably. Now here at Daikoku, I'm sure these cars come around here like every fucking day. So, you know, white 34, got an Alpha 4C, white 34, blue 34, all their cars, and plus they got the logo on the rear bumper. So anyway, but it's still like people were kind of like just freaking out. And this was like by far the oldest vehicle that was on the road at any given time that I was driving it. And people just were still like amazed and shocked, and people giving thumbs up and all this other stuff. And that's in Japan. Now I know that the US fanboys are just much more crazy. So you'd be having to fucking kick people off your balls and your dick if you have one of these there. already know that's the reason why people pay like 50 for this, like for this specific one with all its problems. 50 easy. That was a 350Z, but it didn't have the trumpet sound. What the fuck? Okay, that's different. No trumpet on the 350. 9th gen Accord. Right-hand drive. So I wonder, was that JDM or not? Because I know, you know, the first 5 generations of Accords are the same for every, well, almost. So the first 4 are the same with everybody. 5 has the same body style for Japan and the US. Europe has its own 5th gen Accord. 6th gen, everybody has a different Accord. 7th gen, I don't even know what Europe's Accord is. It could be the TSX, but Japan's Accord for the 7th gen is the TSX. And we just got that as a separate car. Or, you know, CL7, whatever you want to call it. But 8th gen, you know, and you know, I've seen those generations of Accords over here. Like, I know the 7th gen Accord, the American Accord is the Honda Inspire. 8th gen, I haven't seen an 8th gen Accord here, so I don't know. I've seen a 9th. That one is about the 3rd 9th gen I've seen. And I've seen a 10th gen right-hand drive. Now, I don't know if the 9th and the 10th gen are that's just the Accord now, and it didn't, you know, it's not a multiple different countries car anymore. I don't know, because if Honda still had an Accord, like, I don't pay attention to Hondas because they don't make anything I care about anymore. So I don't know if they make, like, if they had an Accord. But here's the thing, those right-hand drive 9th and 10th gen Accords, they could be from other countries. And, you know, so it's either those are JDM, but they're just the same body style as the US now, like, once again, or they're from another country and Honda makes a car for Japan that's called the Accord that's just not that same car. But I don't know. I know about it from earlier when I liked the cars, but I really don't. I mean, is the S660 even made anymore? Because, like, that's the last Honda. So, you know, you see the CRZ, I had one of those. That's the last Honda in the US that I would buy. The S660 is the last Honda period that I would buy, and we didn't get that in the US, so therefore Honda doesn't really do it for me anymore. That's why I have a Mustang and an Evo 10. Now back to the GT-R. So, like I said, that whole experience is what you're paying for when you buy one of these cars. Like, you know, you want people to just look at you and be in awe of the fact that you have this thing, and I think that's just kind of what it is. So, yeah, that's it. But yeah, look at that. Somebody stole the GT-R badge. That's sweet. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here myself, get back on this highway. I don't even know how to get to it. But I guess I'm gonna figure it out. Get back to this room. I'm probably gonna go to sleep. I was gonna get some food, which, I mean, I still may do, but it'll be some little stuff from 7-Eleven or something. Have them put it in the microwave. It'll be all right. And I was about to go to the driver's door, or the now passenger door, to open it up. I mean, I haven't owned right-hand drive. I had my Prelude that was right-hand drive. And that was and I got rid of that in 2015. That's how long it's been. And then, I drove the Evo 6 over here. And, the other rental cars over here. Now I'm finally doing this again. Alright, well, that is it for my thoughts about this stuff. Later.